This is Your Magnetic Purpose podcast, a new season focused on creativity and connection. We'll use tools like human design, tarot, and astrology, and see what happens when you let your natural rhythm lead. So let's dive in. Here's probably what happened after the last episode. You pulled your human design chart, looked at the intricate body graph covered in numbers, lines, and symbols, and thought, okay, what am I actually supposed to do with this? I remember that moment. The first time I opened my own chart and saw the gates, channels, centers, definition, and the incarnation cross, and honestly, it was like trying to read a technical manual written in another language. So today we're cutting through the complexity, and I'm going to show you exactly what to focus on, what actually matters, and how you can create and make decisions from this system. I'm Ashley, and welcome back to Your Magnetic Purpose podcast. And by the end of this episode, you will understand how to read your chart as a practical creative framework and not as an esoteric puzzle. So let's dive in. Your type is understanding your creative architecture. Your type will be clearly labeled at the top of your chart, and you'll be one of the 5. First up is a generator, and they make up approximately 37% of the population. A manifesting generator, and they make up 33% of the population. A projector, and they make up 20% of the population. And a manifester, who makes up 9% of the population. And the rarest of all types is the reflector, and they make up just about 1% of the population. So your type describes your energetic architecture, the fundamental way you're designed to interact with the world and with creativity and your momentum. Generators are built for sustained focus and mastery. They're designed to find something that genuinely lights them up, and then they go deep. Your creative power comes through response and refinement, not through constant initiation. When you're working on something that is correct for you, you have access to sustainable energy that others don't have. The mistake that many generators make is trying to operate like a manifester. They're constantly initiating with new ideas without waiting for something to respond to, and that creates frustration and burnout. And then there's manifesting generators. These are the multi-passionate accelerators. You are designed to move quickly and test multiple approaches, but find the efficient shortcuts. You're also the responsive type. But once you respond to something that is correct, you move at double the speed. You're like the Energizer Bunny. But you're not scattered. You're designed to have multiple threads going all at once. And the key is responding to what actually excites you and not just chasing the next shiny object. And then we have projectors. You are the natural system thinkers. You are designed to see patterns, guide energy, and direct others. You are not here to generate energy the way that generators do, but you're here to focus and amplify that energy. Your creative genius comes through recognition. When the right people see your value and invite you into opportunities, that is when you thrive. When you try to force your way in or prove yourself without any form of an invitation, that is what drains you and makes you bitter. You do your best work when you're selected and not when you're hustling for attention. And then we have our manifestors. They are our initiators. They are the only type that is actually designed to start things without waiting for external cues. You have this capacity to create momentum from absolutely nothing. But the nuance is you work best when you inform people of what you're doing and the people who are going to be impacted by your actions. You're not asking for permission, you're just informing them of your next steps. This reduces a lot of resistance and creates a smoother execution for you. And then we have our reflectors. These are the environment samplers. You are designed to take in and reflect the health of all of your surroundings. You are deeply attuned to energy, which makes you incredibly perceptive, but it also means that you need time and space to process big decisions. You're not designed to make quick calls. You need a full lunar cycle, which is approximately 28 days, to gain clarity on major decisions. So the question you want to ask yourself is, when am I not forcing myself to work a certain way? Does this description match how I actually want to operate? If you're a generator who's been trying to initiate like a manifester, you're probably experiencing chronic frustration. And if you're a projector who's been grinding like a generator, you're likely facing reoccurring burnout. Understanding your type shows you where you've been working against your own design. Next, you're going to see your strategy, and these are the mechanics of the right timing. Directly below your type on your chart, you'll see your strategy. This is the mechanics through which you are designed to engage with opportunities. Each type has a specific strategy. If you're a generator or a manifesting generator, you are to respond. If you're a projector, you want to wait for the invitation. And if you're a manifester, you are here to initiate and inform. And then reflectors, you're going to wait a full lunar cycle. Again, that's 28 days. But let me translate this into practical, creative terms. If you're a generator or a manifesting generator, your strategy is to respond. This means your most aligned opportunities, your best creative ideas, and your strongest work, all of that comes through responding to external stimulus and not through forcing initiation. This could look like seeing a piece of work that sparks a concept you want to explore, or a client presenting a challenge that immediately activates something in you, or having a conversation that suddenly crystallizes a direction that you've been considering. You're not meant to sit on an empty room and manufacture inspiration from nothing. You are designed to engage with the world and respond to what calls you. This doesn't make you reactive, it makes you efficient. When you're responding to something that genuinely is correct for you, you have access to sustainability and to creative energy. If you're a projector, your strategy is to wait for the invitation. And I understand this can sound very limiting. But what it actually means is you do your most impactful work when people recognize your value and specifically ask for your insight or leadership. This doesn't mean waiting passively. It means developing visible mastery in your field. It's about being clear about what you offer and allowing the right people to see you and invite you into the right opportunities. When you try to force your way into spaces without being recognized first, you often feel and are met with a lot of resistance. But when you're invited in, the doors open easily. Now, if you're a manifester, you are designed to initiate. You can create opportunities, start projects, and generate momentum independently. But your second strategy is to inform the people who will be affected by your actions. And this isn't about like asking for permission. It's more of a strategic communication. When you inform people before you act, you reduce the resistance and you create a lot of alignment from those around you. If you're a reflector, your strategy is to wait a full lunar cycle, which is, again, approximately 28 days. And this is before making any significant decisions. You don't have to wait 28 days to decide what you want to eat for breakfast. This is a big impact decision. This gives you time to experience the decision across different emotional and environmental stages. For major creative pivots, partnerships, career moves, this gives you a full cycle. And what feels true at the beginning of the month may shift towards the end and vice versa. So that's why it's important to wait. The question to ask yourself is, have I been operating according to my strategy? Or have I been following what I think I should do based on conventional productivity advice? Most creative advice is written for manifestors. Just start it, take action, make it happen. But if you're not a manifester, which majority of us aren't, that approach will completely drain you. And then finally, you're going to see your authority. This is your decision-making intelligence. This is where human design becomes exceptionally practical. Your authority shows you how you're designed to make decisions and how you're designed to do it through your body and not necessarily through your mind. Your authority will be listed in your chart and is usually just below your strategy. The main types of authorities that you'll see are sacral authority, emotional authority, splenic authority, ego authority, self-projected authority, environmental authority, and lunar authority. What you need to know about each one of these is the sacral authority, which is generators and manifesting generators. You're designed to make decisions through a gut response, a physical, nonverbal intelligence that happens to be in your body before your mind even has an opportunity to engage. This often sounds like a mm-hmm or a mm-mm. And it is immediate, it is visceral, it might even speak before you even have the opportunity to do it. And this is because it bypasses rational analysis. When you're considering a creative opportunity, notice, does your body feel energized and open and like warm and you have butterflies? Or does it feel contracted and resistant? That is your authority speaking. Next, we have your emotional authority. Any type can be emotional authority. This is just somebody who has their solar plexus defined. You are designed to wait for emotional clarity before making big decisions. Your emotions move in waves, and what feels right for you in one state may feel completely different in another. The key is to experience the decision across multiple emotional states: excitement, calm, doubt, confidence, and wait for the consistent knowing to emerge. For creatives, this means don't commit to a project when you're in a high and don't decline a project when you're in a low. Wait until you have some emotional clarity and some neutrality so that you know that you're making the decision that is right for you. And then we have splenic authority. You make decisions through an intuitive, in the moment knowing, and it's quiet, it's subtle, and it usually only happens once. It looks like you meet a potential collaborator and instantly know they're right or they're not for you. You can walk into a space and know if it's the correct studio. You can hear about an opportunity and have an immediate, clear sense of if it's going to work for you. The challenge is that if you overthink it or you talk yourself out of it, you need to trust the first hit that comes, because they say with splenic authority, that quiet, intuitive voice only speaks once. And then there's ego authority. You are designed to make decisions based on what genuinely serves you and what you truly want, not what you think you should want. This isn't about being selfish. It's about understanding what commitment you can actually sustain and what you will genuinely move your work forward. So you want to ask yourself, do I actually want this, or do I think I'm supposed to want this? And then you have your self-projected authorities, and this is for some projectors. You gain decision-making clarity by hearing yourself speak. Your truth emerges through articulating your thoughts out loud. You find trusting people and you talk your way through them to help you with your decisions, or you can record yourself speaking about the choices that you're looking to make. You'll hear the truth in your own voice. And then we have environmental authority. Your decision-making clarity is influenced by the physical environment you're in. You need to be in the right space to access your knowing. If the decision feels unclear, change your location. Go to a different room, make a different cafe stop, go outside, notice if your sense of decision shifts at all. And then we have our lunar authority. And again, this is only going to be for reflectors. And you need to wait a full lunar cycle, 28 days, to make significant decisions. During that time, talk through the decision with different people and notice how your sense of self evolves. The right decision will reveal itself throughout the process. A question you can ask yourself is, have I actually been making these decisions from myself or from the environment around me? Am I going through mental analysis and pros and cons list, or through what my authority actually says? Most of us were taught to make decisions with our minds, with logic, comparison, rational weighting of your options, but your authority is pointing to a different information of intelligence, one that is somatic, intuitive, or emotionally informed. When you begin making your creative decisions through your authority instead of your analytical mind, the quality of those decisions really start to impact you for the positive. So let's address some common misconceptions that I get when I am doing my readings for all of you. One would be, my chart says I'm a generator, but I don't resonate with that. You might be a manifesting generator. Manifesting generators are technically a subtype of a generator, but they operate at quite different temperances. They're much faster, more multi-passionate. So maybe check your chart again and make sure that your timing is correct. And also make sure that it's an AM or PM. That can really change a lot of things. Alternatively, you may have been heavily conditioned out of your natural design. We're taught to initiate, to hustle, to push. And if you're a generator, that conditioning can override your natural rhythm and it can give you a little bit of a sense of not knowing who you are. So just give it some time. I'm a projector and this feels restrictive to me, the whole invitation conversation. I get it, I totally understand. But the invitation is based on strategy. It isn't about limitation. It's about efficiency, and some of the most influential creatives and leaders are projectors. The strategy isn't about passively waiting, it's about doing exceptional work, being visible in your mastery, and allowing the right opportunities and people to recognize and select you. It's actually more efficient and it helps to open more doors than trying to force yourself in. Next is, I don't know my exact birth time. This one comes up quite a bit. So your type typically remains consistent, but your authority can shift depending on your birth time. If you don't have your exact time, read through the different authorities and notice which one really feels like it lands with you and is how you actually are making your decisions. You can also try to obtain your birth time information from your parents, your birth certificate, or the hospital in which you were born. Next one is, this feels like a lot of information. Then let's simplify it. Focus only on your type and strategy for the next 2 weeks. Notice how this shows up in your creative process, and your authority can come in a little bit later. You don't need to understand everything all at once. Integration happens through observation, not through intellectually mastering all of this. They say that it takes 7 years to go through the full deconditioning cycle, so give yourself some grace and some time. So I have a little experiment that I want you to do. Can you tell that I have a line 3 in my profile? I want you to head over to yourmagneticpurpose.com, pull your free chart, and identify your type, strategy, and authority. And then for the next 7 days, just simply observe it. Do not try and change anything just yet. Just notice, when do you feel the most energized in your creative work? How do you naturally make decisions when you're not overthinking them or wondering how they're going to land with certain people? What happens when you work with your design versus against it? Run one small experiment based on your design. If you're a generator or manifesting generator, this week, only commit to creative projects that produce a genuine gut response. Notice what shifts in you. If you're a projector, focus on visibility and mastery. Put your work out there and practice waiting to be asked instead of pushing yourself into opportunities. See who shows up. If you're a manifester, before initiating your next project, inform the people that it's going to affect. Notice if the creation becomes more easy in your execution. And if you're a reflector, if you have a significant decision pending, commit to giving yourself a full 28 days. Journal through the entire process and observe what clarity emerges. You're not overhauling your entire approach. You're testing, you're gathering data, and you're seeing what truly feels right in this experiment. So, why does this actually matter? Well, human design isn't just about confinement, it's about understanding your natural wiring so you can stop fighting yourself. When you understand your type, you stop comparing your creative process to other people who are fundamentally designed differently than you are. When you understand your strategy, you stop forcing opportunities that aren't aligned and start allowing what actually is meant for you to unfold. And when you understand your authority, you stop making decisions from an external pressure or mental anxiety and start trusting your own internal intelligence. And that's when the work becomes really fun. Because when you're no longer creating from should, you're creating from what is actually true for you. So here's your next steps. Go to yourmagneticpurpose.com right now, pull your chart, look at your type, your strategy, and your authority. Screenshot it if that's helpful for you, and then reach out. Send me messages, tag me, let me know what you've discovered. I genuinely want to know who is listening and how you're wired. And if this resonated, share this with one creative who is consistently pushing but consistently exhausted. There probably needs to have a little bit of perspective there. Next episode, we're exploring burnout, specifically why you keep burning out and how your design explains that pattern. Once you see it, I promise you, you won't be able to unsee it. I'm Ashley. This is your Magnetic Purpose Podcast, and I will see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like, share, and subscribe wherever you stream your podcast. For more resources and tools to explore human design, tarot, and astrology, head over to yourmagneticpurpose.com and book a live one-on-one reading or download your free chart. Remember, the more that you align with your purpose, the more opportunities you attract.